going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I have another special guest from the season of Ultimate Fighter, one of the guys that's really standing out this season, and we had a blast watching him last night, and we're going to get into all that. Luis Pena, the Violent Bob Ross. What's going on, Luis?
Oh, nothing much, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
You know what, man? It's been such an exciting couple of years for you. I mean, first time I heard of you was a couple of years ago, and then you get the shot on the Ultimate Fighter. I kind of want to get into, the meat of things really quick. What's on everyone's mind in case they didn't know. Are you going to be fighting in the finale?
Yes, I will be fighting in the finale next week. I'm fighting a fellow teammate member, Richie Smolin, who trains out of SBG in Ireland.
So listen, this is what everyone wants to know. That day that he had to pull out of his fight, what were you guys all thinking?
So that's the crazy thing. Like, I was actually thinking of that with everyone as we were getting ready for that fight, and we're just sitting there, and it was just like, I don't even really know how to explain it, man, because everything happened so fast. It was so crazy. None of us, from like me, DC, Ro, like Pena, none of us had ever seen anything like this happen. And we're, as a teammate and a friend, we were all just kind of worried for his health and safety. And then come to find out, the next day how serious everything actually was. It was crazy.
So how excited are you to be fighting in the finale, man, against somebody that has a pretty decent name?
I mean, I'm super excited. It's no offense to Richie or anything, but none of that really matters to me. It's all about getting in there, getting my UFC debut, and just having a good time, going out there and doing what I always do, showing the fans, who Violent Bob Ross really is.
The second that you walked into the Ultimate Fighter house, you see these 16 guys or 15 guys staying around you. Who stood out to you? Who did you think was going to make it the furthest, and fight you in the finale?
I was looking at guys like Jose. Honestly, Jose is the man I fought in the prelims. Richie was another guy that I thought, could probably make it far. And then, of course, the two guys in the finale, Joe and Mike.
So there was a little drama that occurred, too, on this season. Not much. I mean, compared to other seasons, there definitely wasn't that much drama. There was actually more bonding. But you were getting a little irritable during your weight cut. What was going on in that scene there with Suman Makatran? He kind of brought us through it, but let's hear your side.
All right, so just a little backstory on that. When we got into the house for the very first time, Team Steve just ran in, and they knew exactly which side of the house to go on to get the rooms that were kind of secluded and off to themselves, essentially the best rooms in the house, because James Krause, who had lived in the house a couple of seasons before, knew which side of the house was good, and that kind of let him know what was up. So Team DC ended up having to live on the side of the house that was closest to the living room and the kitchen, and we also had the later training schedule, which meant that Team Steve woke up every morning before us and started their day before we ever really did, which kind of irritated a little bit of us because they never really had any courtesy for us still sleeping. Every day we would get woken up before we really wanted to, because Team Steve would go in there, start yelling, making all this noise, and it just kind of got to my breaking point where I was like, dude, I don't want you guys yelling every morning anymore. And it just happened to be the day of weigh-ins, which, if you know anything about a weight cut, that's your most irritable point in the entire camp.
Yeah, man. And it wasn't like you guys got too crazy there, and they obviously split scenes up. They kind of make it look even crazier than it is on this season of Ultimate Fighter. But like I said, I think you guys had a great bond. Who do you think you've grown closest with this season?
Without a doubt, other than Bryce, who I already knew going into the house, he was actually I think Bryce was actually my very first training partner in MMA in general. But I would say without a doubt the guy I grew closest to that I didn't know for Adam coming into this was Tyler Diamond. Through our wrestling backgrounds, we really connected, and during the time that I was able to train, I would always seek out Tyler just because he was a great drilling partner and a just great training partner all around. And then not to say second that, but right up there with him is Joe Giannetti. If you watched the show extensively enough, you would know, like, when me and Ronnie were getting into it, Joe, it was actually Joe who had started the whole, like, not Joe himself that started it, but it had started with him and Joe. And with me and Joe being so close, like, I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to let you get on my boy like that. And then if you watch, when everything kind of started to unfold about my foot, Joe was one of the first people kind of helping me around and going and getting stuff for me. But then again, like, I have to praise everybody in the house, because everybody in the house really did kind of step up and help me out when all that started to go down, as well as, Ricky and Richie, who also were injured and out of the competition. When all these moments happened, the entire house would come together to support everyone and lift those guys up.
There was a real remember the Titans moment with you on this season. I think it's going to stand out for years now when people look back on it. The second that you got injured, you had this speech with everybody. What was going through your mind then? What did that feel like? It was definitely frustrating to watch.
It's one of those situations where, like, I had to accept that my time, that my dream of being the Ultimate Fighter was over. And, this might be an individual competition, but you're put on a team. And, being the kind of guy I am, I think being the kind of guys that everyone else on Team DC were, we grew really close. We had team dinners every week. We had, team meetings where we talked to each other and kind of like try to help each other, lift each other up. And so for me, in my mind, I had to kind of, put myself to the side when it happened. I had to put the team above myself when it came to the fact that, my dream of being the Ultimate Fighter was over, and it was Team DC now.
Like I said, a lot of people were talking about you this season. They were really upset that you got pulled out, but you grew really close with the coaching staff through the season, and now you're actually training over at AKA currently. How's that going?
Yeah, I'm actually with Rosendo Sanchez right now. We're just hanging out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I grew really, really close with the entire coaching staff, especially, Ro, Leandro, and DC. When I'm not here with Ro, I'm actually in Gilroy staying at the Hilton, because of DC. He's one of those guys, that he's a great coach. He's a great mentor. He's one of those guys you just want to be around. Not only that, but he's just a great person in general. Like, I told him yesterday, he inspires me, every day that I get to train around him. He inspires me to work harder and push myself to new limits that I never really even knew I could, just because of how hard of a worker he is, and how much, you want to compete with that, how much you want to show that you can stay on that level.
Yeah, there was a great vibe going with DC throughout the season. He was really loose and funny, and I think a lot of people grown to like DC a lot more over the last couple of years, especially with everything that happened. I got more praise from that loss against John Bones Jones than he would if obviously he got just as much respect if he won than if he would have lost. Now moving forward here, throughout the season they had you on Tough Talk. Man, what was that experience like, sitting next to Bisbing and having to paint pictures, and what was that like?
Oh, I loved it, man. It was kind of, for me, I kind of felt like it was just getting me prepared for what my career is going to turn into here in the future. Not to like brag or sound arrogant or anything. I felt really at home. It was nice. I enjoyed every bit of it. It's a cool experience too. I feel like I really like the way they do that, because the guys that do end up going farther and do end up making a career out of the Ultimate Fighter, you kind of get a little bit of a taste of how things are going to work out for you.
Since you're on this season with all these Ultimate Fighter guys, all these undefeated guys, including yourself, what do you think the difference that you learned between ego and confidence is?
I learned personally, no matter how good you think you are, life comes at you. You can't subvert that. You can't get past that. And some of these guys, obviously some guys had a little bit bigger egos or whatever than others, And I feel like the guys that were quietly confident, like it showed. You know, Brad Katona is one of those guys that stands out in my mind. Super, super quiet dude when it comes to that kind of stuff, but he's also not afraid to show how confident he is in himself because he knows the hard work that he's put in. He knows the hard work that he puts in and day out.
And you know what, man? This season, not only is it one of the last seasons, but you got to experience this. Are you happy that you experienced this over Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series if this was a year later?
Oh, without a doubt. I definitely am way, like, to me, I'm me personally. I don't know about anyone else, but I feel as though that the Ultimate Fighter prepared me for something, that you're not really gonna get over at the Contender Series. You know, in the Contender Series, yeah, I feel right now it's just a little bit bigger, and there are probably more eyes on it, but it's also one night. That's all you get is one night of publicity, really. Where with the Ultimate Fighter, you get a whole 12 weeks of people talking about you and having to deal with the media, people wanting to interview you, fans, asking questions on Twitter, or, fans, writing hateful stuff to you on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff. Like, you get way more time to adjust to that lifestyle through the Ultimate Fighter, and I think that's the one thing people don't really think about when it comes to being a contestant on the show.
And you know what, man? It's really sad that this Ultimate Fighter is coming to a close. I mean, one more season and it's done. And me and you were kind of talking last night about video games. I mean, you obviously won the video game competition last night. DC was in the living room, did an Octagon interview with you. I mean, that was such an awesome vibe. Was that cool to kind of let loose and play some Xbox?
Oh, yeah. I don't think people realize we really don't get to do anything outside of training and fighting, eating and sleeping when you're in the house. So any moment where they either showed the fights or they, like DC came in and brought the Xbox and let us play, it was just a nice little reprieve to kind of get back into your own groove. And of course, being one of the resident gamers in the house, I had to show my dominance.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun watching that. And I know Joe plays a lot of video games. I've been following him for quite some time. So it's definitely an accomplishment that you beat him at UFC. So you're definitely the real deal. One more question before we let you go. It's only fair. What's the response that you got once you got home from your girlfriend and some of your friends?
Everyone was really supportive. Everyone was really happy. And they were all just super, super excited to see the show. Of course, it was weird because, I know exactly what's happened. I know exactly what's about to go down, and I can't tell everybody, especially coming home with a boot on my foot, a broken foot. Everyone's like, what the hell happened? You just can't tell anybody. You got to let them watch it all play out. And for me, that was kind of one of the big things I did want to happen. I didn't want to tell anybody. I wanted everyone to kind of see what I went through in real time because, you can tell someone, but you can't explain. It's hard to put into words and explain what you truly went through without seeing it. And one of the things I can say that I'm a little disappointed in is that they haven't shown is I literally took one day off of training in the house. The only day I took off were the 2 days. I took the 2 days after my fight off, and then once I found out my foot was broken, they got me in a boot. I was right back into training, lifting, doing whatever I could. And that's the one thing I kind of wanted, my friends and family to see is I talk about this hard work and dedication thing, and it's really easy to do that when everything is going your way and everything is being set up for you. But when the chips are down like that, I feel like true champions, they're never going to stop. They're never, no matter what's in their way, they're going to keep going. And that's what I did, you know what I'm saying? And that was big to me, was to keep going, continue to work, continue to grow, and be able to continue to pick the minds of the coaches and teammates that I was around during that time, even though I did have my foot broken, I wasn't able to compete anymore.
Lewis, I want to thank you so much for coming on Pure Evil MMA, man. I've been dying to get you on the show. What was your biggest takeaway, though, from this season? What was the one memory that you're going to remember forever?
I can't lie. The one thing I'll always remember is just that moment directly after my fight. Dana White came up to me and he was like, man, that was one of the best performances I've ever seen on the show. And I can't tell you what that meant to me, you know, to have the man, the guy that decides in the sport, tell you something like that. It's really it's kind of like a validation of everything I put into the sport, all the sacrifices I made, you know, all the time away from family, everything I put into this. It was great being able to hear that and being able to experience it, even if I didn't get to do what I set out to do.
And it's going down July 6th. We're actually going to be able to step foot inside the octagon and actually have Bruce Buffer call your name. We cannot wait for it, man. You were definitely one of the standouts this season. Everyone's talking about you. I see a lot of big things coming for you in the future if you follow this path, man. So thank you so much. If you have anything else that you want to get out on the table, sponsors, shout outs, anything at all, the floor is now all yours.
Awesome. I just want to, you know, obviously give a huge shout out to my sponsors, Fuji BJJ, Koi CBD, Aviles Translations LLC, Iron Jaw Custom Mouth Guards, Armored Nutshells, Warrior and Larea Clothing, RDX Sports, Bad Boy brands. They've all helped me out so much this fight camp and, you know, throughout my entire career. Obviously got to give a huge shout out to my coaches and training partners back home at St. Charles MMA and Arnold Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then, of course, a huge shout out to AKA and my coaches and training partners here that have helped me this entire camp and kind of helped me level up as a fighter here. I can't wait to show everybody all the things we've been working on and show everyone that, you know, I'm a completely different fighter and a completely new fighter from the time you saw me on the show.
And also, you should shout out Yoga Joe 7, man. He's been doing some funny pictures of you that I've been really enjoying. And
oh yeah, man, I love Yoga Joe 7's photoshops. And like honestly, all the fans that have kind of gotten behind me and supported me, like that's a big thing for me. Is all the fans who have, you know, reached out, especially when my foot was broke. I got so much positive feedback and so many positive messages. Like so much support from fans. You know, it's obviously it's easy to get all that from your friends and family, but then to have a ton of people that don't even know you from Adam except for watching you on the show want to reach out and tell you all this great stuff. It's amazing. And then, you know, I've also, like, my fans are.
Yeah, and you know what? The scene's brutal. The scene's brutal. So if you get a praise, you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Last but not least, man, I even went out and got a Bob Ross shirt for our interview here. You can't see it, but everyone watching can. So, you know, man, we want to wish you best of skill moving forward. And really quick, can you just say, hey, guys, it's Violent Bob Ross, and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA?
Appreciate it, man.
Can you just say that one thing for me, Lewis? Can you say your name and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA?
Okay. This is Violent Bob Ross and Luis Pena, and you're listening to Pure Evil MMA.
Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No problem. You too.
Damn. One of the big stars from this season of Ultimate Fighter, guys. If you haven't been watching, it's crazy. It's been an amazing season. We have one more episode to go. We are just a couple of days out from this finale. And Lewis, I've been trying to get on this whole time. You guys can go back. Maybe I'll make a playlist. I've had a whole bunch of guys from the season on the show. I've had Suman Makatran. I've had on Joe Giannetti. I've had on, obviously, Lewis now. I've had on Jay Cuccinella. I have on Rosendo Sanchez, who is the coach for DC and over at AKA. You guys can check that out. I did that interview with Rosendo yesterday. We spoke about a lot. He even gave us a little information, very little, about what to expect with Cain Velasquez. So you guys can check that out, episode 122. Also, guys, we're on Spotify now. I'm so happy to announce that. You know, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, obviously YouTube. Subscribe down below, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this interview, and that will help reach some more MMA fans out there. Last but not least, guys, I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, MyMMAnews.com. Wait until then, give yourselves